If you're a woman in midlife, middle age, if you're in your 40s, 50s or 60s and you feel like you are going insane, you've lost confidence, you're up at night, you're sweating at night, you're sweating in the day, you smell a bit, you got lots of hair on your face, it's the menopause, or you are heading towards the menopause. I'm going to go through all of the symptoms, my menopause story and how I cope with it, all to make sure that you can try and navigate your way through the menopause as well, with less problems than I did. Hello, how you doing? My name's Marv Cole. I'm in my 50s. I am a journalist in the UK and also a transformative coach. But I wanted to talk about menopause today for 3 reasons. Every day is a laundry day. I was inspired by her and her story. Grammy's story time, she asked me to do another video on menopause, and about a month ago I wrote about it on my midlife newsletter called Moments, and I've got hundreds of readers there, and the stories that came in about what is happening to women in middle age and midlife blew my mind. So okay, let's get into it. So when your ovaries stop producing those eggs that could be fertilized for you to have children and your body slows down, then menopause kicks in. The symptoms can start anywhere between your 40s and last all the way through to your 60s. You lose a lot of estrogen, which can actually affect everything. Your heart, your blood vessels, your skin, your mind, big time your mind. For me, I've had a lot of mental health challenges, shall we say. That's a diplomatic word in describing how it affected my brain. But all of those things can kick in. And really the point of it is you might be feeling all sorts of different symptoms, which I'm going to go through in a moment. Some of the common ones and some of the not so common ones, a little bit weird ones. You might be feeling all of those and wondering, what the hell is going on in my life? I do not feel right. So 940 million women across the globe are either in perimenopause or are going through menopause, aged between 40 and 60. That's the data from the United Nations. There are 3.992 billion people in the world. I reckon you're probably a small selection of those women going through it. And I'm going to talk through some of the common symptoms, which I've kind of taken from the NHS UK website, and I've remixed them a bit because I wanted to put them into categories. Categories so that we can kind of break down what parts of the brain and the body they affect. So, brain and mental health. Tell me you've been through feeling a loss of self. Ding! Let's play the bingo. Feeling loss of self-confidence. Ding! You've got anxiety. Ding! Changes in mood, problems in memory, loss of concentration, brain fog they call it, mood swings, night terrors, panic attacks. I'll tell you the 2 that I had out of these: loss of self-confidence, complete lack of self-confidence. And the thing is, this happened like 2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't even really acknowledge it as perimenopause. And when I look back now, it absolutely was. Walked into a brilliant brand new job, a contract with a new news organisation. It's the organisation I work for now. And for the best part of a year and a half, I felt small, insignificant, like I shouldn't be there. Didn't really have much of a conversation with people because I couldn't find the words to say, because I just felt small. And that was absolutely nothing to do with the people who worked there, the team around me. They were warm, welcoming, they looked after me, nothing was too much trouble. So it was all in my head. Night terrors. There were several occasions in the months running up to before I sought medical help that I was getting night terrors. I have never had nightmares or terrors before. My husband is the one whose feet kicks in the bed at night when he's being chased by a mountain lion or something like that, literally, and I'm the one having to calm him down. So for me, me getting night terrors freaked me the F out. Let me explain how the night terrors presented themselves. There were several occasions where I would be running down the street, running as if my life depended on it, feeling stitched, out of breath, feeling very much like I was never going to make it, and I was being chased by a man with a knife who wanted to murder me. And it was very, very vivid, horrendous. Same dream, recurring several times, woke me up in the middle of the night. So I'm sitting up and I'm gasping for breath. I am catching my breath because I was living that dream. That wasn't a dream, it was a bloody nightmare, excuse my French. That was one of the indicators before I went to the doctor, when I went to see a doctor, which said something ain't right. Okay, physical symptoms now. Let's play bingo again. Hot flushes in the day. It ain't fair because you get hot flushes in the day. You might get night sweats. You might get either. You might get both. Headaches or migraines more frequently. Tinnitus, ringing in the ears randomly if you've never had it before. Joints, stiffness, aches and pains. The loss of the estrogen does affect your bones and can cause osteoporosis. That stiffness is really one of the biggest indicators of the loss of estrogen in your entire body. Weight gain. Oh, ladies, we all know about weight gain and all that that flab sitting on your belly and all the rest of it. I'm looking at my notes, okay, because listen, there's too much for me to remember off the top of my head. Could you do this? Okay, so what have I had and what do I still have? Night sweats. Now, I'm trying to think, can I really put that down to menopause? Perhaps, but a combination of what happens to me at night is I love the house when it is like a tropical country. So, I mean, I'm recording this video at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The central heating is on. Hi, radiator, nice and warm. It's cold outside. So we have a centrally heated house, gas, and we like to keep it nice and hot. Then I have a 15 togs, a really heavy duvet on at night. And I do like to wear like a night shirt or like PJs, not quite PJs, a long night hoodie. And what happens is I get into bed, I'm cold, and halfway through the night, then I'm sweating like a pig. So it might be that it is the duvet, it might be that it's the night hoodie. The central heating is off by the time we go to sleep, but what really puzzles me is the fact that I wake up in the middle of the night. Oh yeah, go to the loo. How many times in the middle of the night? 3 times is a good night. But the duvet is drenched. My pillowcase is drenched. The bottom sheet on the bed is drenched. I mean, literally, you could be just aiming the shower head at the bed. Oh, my side of the bed, by the way, and just drenching the whole bed in water. And then I'm like, well, clearly I don't want to wake my husband up to go, listen, I've got to change the sheets. When I go to the loo, I got to get back in that wet bed. It ain't nice sleeping through the menopause. If you can sleep, that is, because another one of the symptoms. But sleeping through the menopause with that is horrendous. Hot flushes. I know a lot of my friends get hot flushes just here, there, everywhere, taking you by unawares. Is that right? Taking you by unawares? Taking you unawares. And a lot of my friends have their little fan, their little USB fan. I've got one somewhere. I don't have to use it that much because I don't get those flashes that hit me in the day. But a lot of my friends reach for those. They don't care. It is like their best friend. Your mobile phone and your fan in your handbag. Best friends. Weight gain for me, actually, I was probably ignoring it. Because I put on a ton of weight in 2016 when I finished a London TV job contract and I came home. I've always accounted that intense weight gain to perhaps the trauma of the contract and walking away from, not even walking away, leaving a TV job in London under difficult circumstances. The trauma of that made me put on 2-3 stone in weight. And menopause, perimenopause could have been a factor. Hey, who knows? But it's often a common symptom. One of the weirdest symptoms I've heard women getting is itchy ears. Itchy ears. Sometimes I have itchy ears, but it's not a problem. It's not a problem for me, but it might be for you. So recognise that as a symptom. Let's go back to NHS data's symptoms. Oh, hang on. If you're enjoying this, if any of these symptoms are resonating with you and you have ticked them off on the bingo sheet, holler at me. Give me a comment. Tell me what you're going through, because I would love to hear your menopause stories. Let's have some solidarity, ladies, women in midlife, women in middle age. Let's support one another. And if you're enjoying this video, there are loads of other videos available for you on my channel. So I would love you to hit like, subscribe. Also, the notification bell is really, really important, because it means every time you open YouTube, it's going to let you know that there's a new little video for me waiting for you. And commenting and liking and all that stuff as well. If you like this kind of content where I'm talking about women in midlife and offering personal advice to support you through all sorts of things that you might be going through and experiencing, doing all of those things means that YouTube goes, yeah, Midlife with Marv is a good channel, and the algorithm will push those videos out so that many more, hundreds, thousands of women will be able to see and benefit from what I'm doing. Anyway, let's get back to those symptoms. Your body. Okay. Changes in skin condition. You could be going very dry or very oily. My skin's always been a combination, a mixture of the two. Talk about sitting on the fence. My hands get very, very dry. I can't say it's one of the symptoms for me, because you know, through COVID, we were always using the hand sanitizers and washing our hands, like happy birthday to you, all that, right? So even now, my hands are ashy and dry. I wouldn't say that's down to the menopause. I make sure that everywhere I go, I've got some hand cream so that I'm kind of keeping nice and moist. But obviously, I have not done that today. But you could be losing hair, or you could be finding that you're finding patches, or it could be thinning. But then how perverse is this, that you can have an increase in facial hair, and not the peachy fuzz, not the little stuff that you can't quite see, although obviously on darker skin it's not peach fuzz, it's black hairs. So a disposable razor is my best friend, let me tell you now. I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it, but I have to think about it. And I get all little bits of tiny little hairs here. I don't like the little sideburns anyway. They get quite ferocious. I tell you, the worst bit of hair that drives me insane. Under my damn chin. What the hell with the under? What the hell is with that? Hate it. I have friends of mine who I have huge conversations with about sleeping. They cannot sleep. They're awake in the middle of the night and they cannot get back to sleep. I've had bouts of that. And so what do you do to try and cure your inability to sleep? Personally, I've tried any kind of bedtime tea, any tea with a valerian root in, which is the natural herb that is meant to promote sleep in your body. So I have a yogi bedtime tea, or I have pukka nighttime tea, anything that just says nighttime and the ingredients say valerian root. I am down for it. Acquired taste, I've got to say. And obviously it's going to make sure that you go to the loo that extra 2 times on top of the times you're already going to the loo at night, but it's worth a try. I find that 9 times out of 10 a bedtime tea works for me. Also, I have a bedtime routine, so I try and eliminate any screen activity, watching anything, reading anything, so that my brain is less active at least an hour before I go to bed. I like to listen to a podcast or listen to some music or meditation before I go to bed. Sometimes, especially when I'm away from home and I'm working, I treat myself like a baby. And what I mean by that is my belly is full and the food is digested. I might have a hot shower or a hot bath if I'm in a hotel where it's got a bath. I love a bath. I love a hot bath. And then you are kind of in a cool, calm, warm zone that gets you ready for sleep. That's what I try and do. So those are my tips for just trying to get some sleep. And when I'm awake, if I'm awake in the middle of the night, then I plug in a podcast or a meditation again. So basically I go to sleep with all of the notifications off on my phone, and I have my corded headphones plugged in, and pretty much they never come out of my ears all night. so that even when I sleep and toss and turn, they're plugged in, so that then I can reach for the podcast without not even a moment's thought and go, let me put something on, and I'll fall off to sleep with that again. Palpitations. I've not really had the palpitations, but obviously what comes with the night sweats and the hot flashes. Okay, I'm doing all right today. Praise the Lord, I've never had body odor problems, but I know friends who have, and it is a nightmare. I'm going to make some suggestions for you as to how to handle those, but body odor is another one. Now, your final set of symptoms. Again, let's play bingo. This is all to do with down below. Now, reduced sex drive, libido, is part and parcel of perimenopause. So if you've gone off sex, girls, hey, this is what happens in midlife. It's what happens with perimenopause. It's the lack of estrogen's fault. How dare you? If you are still having sex, you might have a bit of discomfort, because the other symptom is vaginal dryness. Thanks a lot. Use the lube. That's all I'm going to say. And then, the whole thing about going to the loo. You go to the loo a lot. I haven't had kids, but my bladder is acting like I have had kids, and it keeps me awake at night. I have to be making sure that everywhere I go, I know where a loo is, or I can get to a loo, because it's not good to try and hold your wee in too much. Apparently, you're more susceptible to urinary tract infections as well, like cystitis. They do say is it cranberry juice is good? I'm lucky, I've never had that. I think I had cystitis once, but that was way back in the day in my 20s when, anyway. Urge incontinence. So like all of a sudden you desperately need to go to the loo, and it's like, whoa, it takes you by surprise. I gotta go now. Or stress incontinence is just a common thing. So there are all your symptoms. And I've told you about how I have dealt with some of them. And actually for me, the biggest issue when I knew I needed to get help was when I turned into the Hulk. And one day, Mom and I were out. I was taking her to a hospital appointment, and it's a tough one because I didn't recognise myself. Communication, I wouldn't say communication breakdown, but I did ask my mom to not do something in the process of me trying to get her home in her wheelchair. And me and Mum are cut from the same cloth. I'm cut from Mum's cloth. I often think that what my strategy for doing anything is right, and so does my mum. So of course we're going to clash, right? And I said, Mum, don't do this. And I walked away for 10 minutes, and I came back, and Mum did the thing. And in the end, I got her out to the car, and I screamed and shouted like a banshee at my mum in the car, and I feel horrendous. As it was happening, it was almost like slow motion, and I knew that this wasn't me. I even knew in the moment this was a horrendous thing to be doing to my own mama, my elderly mum, and she also knew that it was something that had never been unleashed by me before, because she was silent. Because usually my mom has got some words to say. My mom will tell me about myself. My mom said nothing, and I knew I'd hugely upset her. And but I was in this. It was like red mist, full-on rage, insane. That was a catalyst. And in the run-up to that Hulk rage, I'd been seething at my husband for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Again, sometimes I'd be just sitting on the sofa with him and we were watching TV, and I'd look over at him, right? And I'd be like, like something that I thought, like something completely insignificant I thought was a massive deal. And he was, why did he do that? My husband is the most gentle, mild-mannered, easygoing man you will ever meet in your entire life. Think about someone like that, and then times that by literally 10,000. That's my husband. was I seething at him for no reason? I have no idea. Anyway, so there you go. Those are the biggies. Right, real quick now, I'm just going to give you just some tips, personal tips on how to handle the menopause. And again, this is for you if you're in midlife, but also if you're a young woman watching this and, you know, in 10, 20, 30 years time, you will be here. So this is really important. First thing I would say for you to do is just recognize these symptoms. Now that you know what some of them are, accept it. Give yourself good grace. I have stopped apologizing for the fact that I am in perimenopause, right? Go easy on yourself. Make sure you take every preventative measure you can. So for me, occasionally, there'll be a little surprise. And I do not want to be caught unawares. Got it right this time. So I pack emergency pads, whatever. I pack them wherever I go because I don't want to be caught out. So there. And I will pack the heaviest ones ever. If you're having that problem of incontinence at night and it's driving you mad getting up, just get some of those tenor flipping incontinence pads and go to bed with them. You know what? If your husband loves you, your partner loves you, they're not going to mind. They're going to understand. Talk to them about it. Talk to your partner about the menopause and help them recognize that this could be happening. This is happening to me now. Please help me. Please be with me in this and give me some leeway, huh? I did that with my husband. I said to him, maybe about 3 weeks before all of that stuff kicked off, 3 weeks before I was seething, 3 weeks before I screamed and shouted at my mom, I said, watch out for me. I could turn into a monster. He was like, yeah, well, more of a monster than you already are, Marv. But I warned him, right? The biggest thing I could offer to you is please get medical help. Expert underline, underscore, bold, italics, 27, 28 point font, expert medical help. So your local doctor, find out how much they know about the menopause. If you even get a sense that they really don't know what they're talking about, please go and find an expert. If that is private healthcare, what I want you to do is think about the last time you bought the fancy handbag or the fancy shoes or that piece of clothing that you were like, oh, I don't really need it, but I really like it. Okay, take that energy, take that money you would have bought, take out a loan if you need to, put it on your credit card, but pay for expert medical help. It's what I did. Dr. Louise Newson in the UK is one of the most expert women, and her clinicians at her clinic in Warwickshire, and she has like a network of GPs as well that help and nurses. She is the absolute goat when it comes to menopause information and care. I went to her clinic. I got help from one of her GPs. My perimenopause was diagnosed instantly and I was issued medication and my individual medical needs were discussed. You need to speak to an expert. Forget Dr. Google. There's only so much you could do in terms of looking online for all of those symptoms that I've talked about and then diagnosing yourself. Let the professionals do it, please. Because the minute I got diagnosed and I was given medication, I just jumped straight on it. And it works for me, and everything, the madness, the rage and the night terrors gone away, right? So please use some dosh, get some money, get that expert medical help if you cannot get it on your health service, right? Did I say stop trying to hide it? Maybe I did. If you smell yourself, your sweaty body odor, fix it, please. You carry the fan, get the medication. Slow down. All right, ladies, the thing is, you get to this age, all sorts of stuff's going on. Those aching joints and you feeling a bit more tired and your brain feeling a bit more heavy. Slow down. You know, you got to recognize that sometimes you can't always go at the pace you used to go at, right? There's one other thing there's always one other thing with my notes, right? Oh yeah. These are things that I'm trying to do. I'm not that brilliant with doing them. Try and go to the gym more, try to move more to make sure that those joints exercise. And I should be doing that because do everything you can to lose weight, right? If you feel you need to lose weight. So I've done that. I'm on weight loss injections. And with that, I'm meant to go to the gym more. I am not quite getting there, but I think 2025, I'm going to bring my weight my weight pushing game up. I think I'm going to hire a PT. I'm going to go in. I need to do it because this is a danger of muscle wastage with the injections that I'm on. Eat more healthily. So I love eggs. I love getting into my protein. I love a mushroom omelette. Oh, with smoked salmon and all the rest of it. I try and do that practically every day. Lots and lots of water. 2 to 3 litres of water every day. Sometimes with apple cider vinegar for me. Some days it's with lemon. Just be careful. It's 1 or 2 tablespoons with every 6 to 8 cups of water a day. 6 to 8 cups, my British ladies, is about 3 litres, right? With your concentration, with your brain fog, what I've been doing is pushing my brain to the limit and making it work. And I think making it work for me is working. So every waking hour, I am either listening to an educational podcast or I'm watching an educational podcast or something that's fueling my brain, or I'm working on something, or I'm coming up with ideas, or I'm producing, I'm editing video, editing audio, I'm making these videos. My brain is literally at the fullest of capacity, and I'm convinced that is helping me around my loss of concentration and my lack of my brain to be even anywhere close to intellectual. So give it a try, make it work. And rest, ladies, rest yourselves. One of the biggest things around this menopause is your ability to accept that you're in a new phase of life now. Listen, I'm a coach. Acceptance is part of the game, right? It's part of what I will tell you in these videos. It's what I will advise you to do if you did a coaching session with me, right? Accept the place that we're in. You're not in your 20s anymore. And there are so many things that happen every day where I think, why was I doing 2-3 events in consecutive days and then feeling knackered at the end of the 3rd day? Because I forgot that I'm not in my 20s anymore. You just got to give yourself space and time. And also, employers now are being advised you need to give women space and time. And definitely the laws in the UK have incorporated now that the workplace should be appreciating women in the menopause and be more flexible around working patterns, because the sheer numbers of women leaving work because of the fact that the menopause is affecting how they can work and their ability to work is shocking. And no woman wants to leave work because they can't cope with it and there's no allowances in their workplace, because particularly if they love their job. And the flip side of that is, what employer wants to lose an amazing woman with perfectly good skills who is a fantastic leader, who's a fantastic mentor, a supporter, a nurturer of new staff? No one wants to do that. No person in their right mind wants that. So women, if you're in the workplace and you're stuck and you're feeling like you're not getting the support, speak up, get into those the networks that are helping women, that are helping leaders, get into a coaching program at work maybe, but make sure you speak up so that you can hopefully get some help. And if your employer does not want to help you, then help yourself. I am a huge believer of help yourself and help yourself now. That's it from me. Lots more videos. If you want to play Midlife Maelstrom Bingo and how to make change in your life, there's another video there, and loads more. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.